Hey guys, how's it going? So for this video, I'm going to be going over the pistol full house base formation out of the San Francisco 49ers playbook. It's a really cool formation. It's got some very unique plays in it. The pistol full house is found in some other formation in other playbooks, as well. But this version of it definitely has some very unique plays that are only in the Niners book, and so it's something you can definitely run and catch your opponent off guard since it's not seen very often. So I'll go ahead and jump into it. The first three plays I'll go over are these three auto motion plays. The Niners post wheel is my favorite play in this formation. I just think it's really cool. Really good concept. You've got the auto motion post from Vernon Davis. Then you've got the post trailing him from Anquan Boldin. You've got Crabtree dragging underneath, and you've got Derek Carrier running kind of a wheel route. Not kind of a wheel route, it's definitely a wheel route, out to the right side. So a lot of things for your opponent to take account for on this play and to try to guard. First read's always going to be Vernon Davis on his post. If he's not open, you can generally look at Boldin at the same time and just, if one of them are open, go ahead and throw the ball. If neither of them are open, that's fine. Look underneath the Crabtree, or you have Carrier in the flat to look for on check down, and then if none of that's open for whatever reason, the good thing about this play is that the routes have several different windows. It's not like you're trying to throw a curl route, and if the curl route's covered, like, oh, well, he's going to be covered for the rest of the play because he's just going to sit there. But these routes, you've got two posts that are constantly crossing over the middle of the field, so you never know when they might find an open window. You've got a wheel route going up the sideline, and you've got Crabtree dragging underneath. So you've got plenty of different windows, plenty of different opportunities to make a read and try to make a throw. So I'll go ahead and run this a few times for you guys here. You got the auto motion. Right there, just hit Crabtree underneath, try to get upfield, pick up 13 yards. I really like this play. Whenever you throw that drag route to Crabtree, a lot of times he'll get good blocking. He'll get a block picked up by Derek Carrier on the right side. So you can definitely get a lot of yards with just throwing that drag route. There's not a lot of people on the right side of the field. And something to take note of. Try to throw one of these post routes for you guys here. Okay, none of the post routes were open, but Derek Carrier was wide open in the flat over there. So just go ahead and take what the defense gives you. Don't try to be fancy. Don't tunnel on a certain route. That's definitely a bad habit that I have right there. Vernon Davis was open over the middle. Go ahead and throw him the ball. And now I'm going to try to hit Boldin right here since I've hit all the other three routes. So let's see. I'll probably just force this in no matter what and end up throwing a pick. But okay, cool. So right there, Boldin was able to cut over the middle. And even though he got lit up by Cam Chancellor, he was still able to hold on to the ball because Boldin has, I think, 99 catching traffic. So it's a really good play. Really tough to defend. Like, the only bad thing is it kind of gives it away that you're running it because of the auto motion. Right there, I should have just hit Crabtree underneath. Kind of gives it away because of the auto motion, although there are three plays with the same auto motion. So if you just keep mixing it up and don't keep running like the same play, your opponent won't really be able to key on what play you're running. So just be sure not to run this play every single time. Especially your opponent, if they're smart, will key in on it and start using all the routes and making adjustments. At least he will if he's a good opponent. So that's the first play out of the auto motion. Second play is read option, which is pretty self-explanatory. You just read that defensive end. If he crashes, you keep it. If he stands up like he did right there, you hold down A or X on BS4, and you give it to the running back and just try to get upfield. It becomes pretty much like a halfback dive / ISO. You just try to get upfield. Sometimes you'll have a lot of success with it. Other times, like right there, they got a lot of good backside pursuit, and Gore was swallowed up relatively early. But then other times, right there, the middle will be wide open. So just a good mix-up play, pretty consistent play. It's not as effective the higher up you get in online play, I would suppose, because a lot of people know how to defend it correctly. You might be able to catch people off guard with it like once or twice, but definitely don't make a habit out of running it because it will get shut down. And the last play, PA Niners Flood. Pretty much the only thing I do on this play is I fade Crabtree for the one-on-one user catch option, and you basically have just a really basic flood concept on the right side, and then you've got the one-on-one on the left. So nothing super fancy happening on this play. Man-to-man, you you're going to want to try to hit the out route like I did right there. That's really your only read against man-to-man unless one of your players gets behind the defense, or if you have like a one-on-one option on the outside that you like, then you can go ahead and throw that. Otherwise, against man-to-man, you're either going to have to scramble if the out route's not open, or try to playmaker and make something happen right there. Flat was wide open, pick up 10 yards. Just always remember to take what the defense gives you. So that's a really good little 3-play mini scheme, like within the scheme, because of the same auto motion. All the plays look the same, and I really like the I think Niners post wheel's a really good play. So it makes the other 2 plays better than what they actually are, in my opinion, because of the fact that they look like Niners post wheel. So it just makes the scheme flow a lot better if you mix it up and just don't run the same play over and over, obviously. So the other plays out of the formation, I'll go ahead and show you guys the Niners read option. And I just showed you guys the read option with the auto motion, but this is basically read option with no auto motion. You actually get better blocking on this one, in my opinion, because you don't have the tight end motioning out the backfield. And in this one, you actually have him blocking for you, or up the middle. So it's a lot more effective. You basically get one extra blocker. I like this version better than the other one. Just the other one flows better with Niner post wheel, so it's kind of important to mix that version in a little bit. And the great thing about this formation that really caught my eye was that it's symmetrical. So you can go ahead and flip the play, and your opponent won't know. You can run whatever play you want to either side. So your opponent has to respect both sides of the formation. They can't just key in on one side, because you can just as easily flip the play and go to the other side. And so they have to play it, they have to approach it very balanced. They can't overload a side, and it's just another kind of headache that your opponent has to take into account. And any little thing that your opponent has to take into account and like can't ignore, it makes it easier for you on offense, and that much more harder for your opponent on defense. You always want to try to keep them as off balance as possible, give them as many things to think about as possible. And that's just another little wrinkle, the fact that they have to respect not only every play out of the formation, but they have to respect it. They have to respect that it can be run to either side. So it's really tough. So that's the normal read option. I was going to show you guys the formation audibles, but I forgot to, so I'll show it to you after this play. The next play is the Niners counter lead. Pistol counters are really popular and really effective this year, and this one's really no different. It's pretty effective. You get pretty nice blocking, and you're able to get outside and try to get upfield. So not really much to say here. If you guys play online at all, you guys know pistol counters, very popular, along with strong power. Very difficult to stop if you're not prepared for it, or if you don't know how to stop it. You're pretty much going to have, you're not going to have very much fun online, because a lot of people run pistol counters and strong power and stuff like that. So yeah, just another effective, pretty boring but effective run. The quick audibles I go over now. The quick pass is slants. Nothing really special about this play. I guess if your opponent runs a lot of man-to-man, you can go ahead and run it. Just read the slant and the flat. Just try to get upfield if you throw it to the flat. Throw it to the slant. I'd probably just go ahead and get down as soon as I catch it, so that you don't get lit up over the middle of the field. Because even if you do catch it, odds are you're not going to make a play and get upfield. Unless it's like man-to-man. If they send an all-out blitz and you hit a slant, then yeah, go ahead and try to get upfield and make a play. But if you just like thread it into a tight window, I'll just get down just so that you don't get lit up and fumble. The down run is the halfback slam, which is kind of unfortunate, because I think the halfback slam is actually like one of the worst runs in this formation, even though I just got a good gain right there. I'm not that big of a fan of it. I don't think you get that great of blocking a lot of times. And it's kind of slow, I guess, to, not slow, I don't know how to describe it. I just don't think you get very good blocking a lot of the times. And it's just very successful if your opponent's blitzing, which odds are, if you're coming out in this formation a lot, your opponent will be blitzing a lot because they expect you to run. The play really gets shut down really hard. So, I'm not a big fan of it. If you have a custom, if you're running a custom, I definitely recommend putting a different run play as that run play, or as your run audible, whether it be the counter or the read option, or there's a halfback double ISO that I'm going to show you guys later. I like that run a lot as the run audible. But if you're using the stock playbook, like in mud or something, then you have to deal with the slam. It's serviceable, I guess, if your opponent's like not lined up to stop it, but otherwise I'd roll with another run play. The deep pass audible is Niners curl wheel, which I actually really like this play. Pretty much you just always read the flats first and then the curl. You can pretty much just read them both at the same time, because by looking at the wheel routes coming out the backfield, you'll be able to see if the curl route's taking the flat defender towards the middle of the field. If they do, go ahead and hit the wheel. If they don't, then and there's someone out there to defend the wheel, odds are the curl will be open. You also have a check down to Frank Gore. If it's man-to-man, you want to hit one of the curl routes. You want to throw it as soon as they curl back to you, and you want to pass lead it down so that the guy guarding them has a very low chance of jumping the route and picking it off. I'll try to show you guys that. Right there, it was like engage 8 right there, so that was an easy completion. Hopefully we get a better defense right here. Okay. Go ahead and reset the play for you guys. Let's see. Okay, right there, that was weird because the defender kind of got roasted. I actually want to see what happened right there. I shouldn't have thrown this ball, but I got weirded out. Yeah, Maxwell like took a really bad step off the line of scrimmage. I could have just thrown the ball right there. That usually doesn't happen. I could have thrown it a lot sooner and gotten actually a lot of yards, but I just waited for him to curl, which was dumb, and Maxwell was there to jump the route. But I should have just thrown it sooner. That was a mistake on my part. But that's never happened before, so I didn't really know what to expect. Let's see. Right there, saw Carrier was going to be open in the flat because I saw the curl route take the defenders towards the middle of the field, and easy 10 yards. This definitely isn't a play that you're going to get like huge gains off of, but it's a very consistent play that attacks the same spot of the field on both sides, and it can be annoying to defend, especially if you're mixing it up with the running game and the other passing plays. There, go ahead and hit Frank Gorge, try to get upfield, get 6 yards. I really want to try to throw these curl routes against man-to-man for you guys. Here we go. So right there, even though I pass let it down and it didn't really, Kaepernick actually made a bad throw. But as you guys can see, if you throw it right as he cuts, a lot of times the corner will be still running backwards and won't have time to stop and jump the route. So it's a very big timing route. You can't, if you throw it late, it definitely will get jumped and picked off. So just be careful. If you're going to throw it right when he cuts. You can't hesitate. Oh wait, whoops. I pressed the wrong button. I meant to, okay, that worked out anyway. I meant to throw it to let me see, I think it was Derek Carrier. Yeah, it was Derek Carrier on this wheel route right here. He actually torched his man. I was going to go ahead and lob it up, but I actually pressed Bolden's route, and Sherman just stood there. That's kind of just shows the game's AI is not the best. Sherman was standing in front of the route and just like the best corner in the game was standing in front of the route and just backed up and was like, "Yeah, bro, go ahead and catch the ball. Like, I don't care. Go ahead and catch the ball." Oh man, okay. So that's that play. It's a pretty nice play. And I forgot to show you guys the play action audible because I got distracted. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Right here, the halfback double ISO is the run play I was talking about earlier. This is definitely the run that I would use as the run audible if I was running a custom. Right there, it kind of got locked up because it looked like they like engaged 8. But you definitely get pretty good blocking. See, right there was a double safety blitz, and I'm still able to just go right up the middle of the field for a touchdown. Halfback slam, that would have gotten like lit up in the backfield more than likely. So I think you get really good blocking, and as soon as I say that, Bobby Wagner comes free untouched. More times than not, you get really good blocking on this play. And so it's my favorite, just kind of safest bread and butter kind of run play out of this formation. Even against goal line right there, still able to get a big gain. If Frank Gore had any speed, that would have been a touchdown. But you guys get the idea. Very safe, very consistent run play. Very good blocking. So something that you definitely want to come out and establish early. And the play action pass that I forgot to show you guys is PA boot. Nothing really special. I just fade Bolden for the one-on-one. Just kind of read. If the flat's open, go ahead and take it right there. Got 6 or 7 yards. Definitely a play you just have to take what the defense gives you. Just something to kind of keep your opponent honest. If they maybe start run committing or something, then might be something you want to go to. just to kind of get out the pocket and see if you can make them pay right there. That's why I fade Bolden for the one-on-one deep ball. And let's see, nothing's really open right here. Go ahead and try to throw it to Crabtree. Nope. Okay. That's kind of the problem with that play. I'm not like, it's not really a play I'd run very often, because if it's man-to-man like it was right there, really your only hope is that Crabtree gets open coming across the field. But as you guys saw right there, Crabtree wasn't open, so I was pretty much screwed. Like, I had to try to playmaker and hope that somebody got some separation. Nobody got separation, so I just threw the ball downfield. But it's kind of a risky play because of that fact. Like right there, if I was in a game right there, obviously I would just throw the ball away. I wouldn't throw it into quadruple coverage. So it's not that bad, but that is something you have to keep in mind, that if your opponent plays man and your receiver doesn't get separation, you pretty much kind of screwed. So the other plays, pretty much that's it for all the normal plays out of the formation. And then the last 3 plays in the formation are kind of like a mini formation within the formation. And you'll see it's denoted by them having wing in front. So you got wing halfback dive, wing PA cross, and wing power O. And so I really like these 3 plays. I'll start with the wing PA cross. Pretty much you've got a crossing route, delayed flat route, and then you've got the fade and the post. And so you just want to look, I just always keep the play the same, don't really change anything. And my first read is always for the crossing route, so want to look for carrier. If he's open, throw it. If not, you want to look for pretty much Davis in the flat, Bolden over the middle, or Crabtree with the one-on-one. So right there, saw Davis immediately break open in the flat, so just went ahead and threw that right there. I actually didn't even look at carrier, so I guess if you see Davis in the flat wide open, go ahead and just take that and try to get upfield. Let's see if right there, I could have thrown it to Davis again probably. Went ahead and just waited for carrier to get open coming across the field. Just be careful, that might not always work online, because if your opponent's good and he's using like a linebacker or a safety, he'll see that carrier's pretty much the only one moving across the field, and that he'll know that you're probably waiting for him to get open. And so just don't get it baited and throw an interception right there. Right there, carrier broke open against man-to-man. He does a really good job of getting good separation over the middle of the field. Let's see if I can try to throw some of the other routes here. That was a pretty bad throw by Kaepernick, but it was probably a good thing, because that probably would have gotten picked off if it was a good throw. I'll leave that backside post route just in case it happens to get open. It really doesn't get open much. You pretty much do whatever you want on that side. You can fade him. You can put him on a in route. You can put him on a hitch route. You can, or a smoke screen rather. You pretty much do whatever. Like, go ahead. You can put him on an in route as like a second read coming over the middle of the field. Right there, I was under pressure, so I just threw the ball. Terrible read. But just kind of experiment with what you like best on that side of the field, I guess. Right there, man-to-man, go ahead and hit carrier for an easy 15 yards. Maybe against off coverage, you can go ahead and put Bolden on a smoke screen and try to throw that quickly. And right there, Kaepernick, not sure what kind of throw that was. Just kind of experiment with that if you don't like the post route, since usually I just use the post route as just like a space clear. And then obviously you can flip the play and run to the other side as well. And it works just as well right there. Carrier in the flat, go ahead and just take that all day, every day if your opponent gives it to you. So that's that play out of the little mini wing formation. The other 2 plays are the halfback dive and the power O. So the halfback dive is another nice consistent run play. It's a lot like the double ISO. You get really good blocking. It's just a really consistent kind of bread and butter run play. You don't really have to worry about getting hit in the backfield and losing yards. It's almost always going to get you that tough like 2 to 3 yards, unless your opponent happens to like jump the snap and just like come flying through a gap, or something freak happens where he has like a lineman or a linebacker come flying through a gap untouched, which pretty much rarely happens. It's a really consistent run play. Definitely something good to have in your arsenal. And then the last play is the halfback power O out of this formation. Wing power O. It's a decent run play. Power O's out of pistol have kind of been overshadowed by strong power. No one really runs power O's, but it's definitely decent. If your opponent's really stacking the middle, it's kind of like your only option to get outside out of this formation. So definitely just keep that in mind if your opponent's like pinching the line or run committing middle or pinching their linebackers and not respecting the perimeter of the offense. You can go ahead and try to hit them with this. It can be successful at times, and at times it can get blown up. So I'm definitely not going to tell you guys that it's a perfect run play and that it'll always work when that happens. But it's definitely an option, and it's always good to have options. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this formation. It has a lot of really good and unique plays. I hope I went over them well enough for you guys. Hope you enjoyed. The next video, I believe, is on the St. Louis Rams playbook, which is really nice because that's the playbook I've pretty much been running all year long online. So I feel like I know a lot about it, and I definitely have some pretty good stuff out of there that I can't wait to make a video on. It'll be pretty fun. And I'll try not to ramble on it because I know I want to, since it's something that I've run all year long, and I'll probably go like super in depth. So I'll try to make that, or I'll try to keep that video as short as possible, but we'll see what happens. So hope you enjoyed, guys, and until next time.